the house. Please, what's your name? And then a little backstory of how you started freelancing. You can define freelancing because I notice a lot of people here are not even freelancers like that. I know. So I guess someone might be interested to learn something today. So introduce yourself, your name, then your freelance story. So we could all share in that beautiful story of yours. The floor is yours.
Okay, once again, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, depending on where you're tuning in from. So my name is Oji Chinecherem. My freelancing name is Encee. I had to coin that for the benefit of my foreign clients. So you're free to call me NC. So my yeah, I want to first say that I'm delighted to be here and say a big thank you to the host for
Delighted to have you.
for this amazing platform. Sensitizing people is amazing. So God bless you for that. So my freelancing job started 2021. Yeah, ending of 2021. So I heard about freelancing on Facebook. Actually, it was more like a live event like this one.
Wow.
And
Wow.
I just tuned in. It was more like a question and answer section. And I was in a point in my life where I was home and I wasn't doing anything per se, apart from what most persons do, which is online business, all right, posting
Yeah.
stuff, someone gets to order, and of course, you know how that can be. In a whole week, you
Stressful.
can sell maybe one or two items, and that is just it. Just something to keep body and soul together, basically. So I was kind of, I don't want to, I don't want to use the word frustrated, but I think that's where I was at that time. I had a failed business. I had a shop, a business, and it failed. And I was home now with my little boy, wondering what to do with my life. So when I heard about freelancing, and of course there was a training attached, and I was so eager to know what it's all about. But before then, I remember a friend of mine mentioning something about transcribing for people online. All right, so I kind of have a prior knowledge that people can actually work for clients across the world from their home, but I was clueless, very clueless.
Yeah.
So when I joined the training, I remember I was 7 months pregnant. So I was taking the training, I was doing everything. It just has to work. And the idea of freelancing was training for me, because I'm one of those persons that after school I just wanted to do something that would allow me be a mom. I just didn't see myself being an absentee mom, that mom that is never there. So when I heard about freelance and the possibility of being able to work from my home, be all of that, it was amazing. So I jumped right into it, and this is a year plus,
Wow.
and I can say that as regards financial freedom, career-wise, that is the best decision I've made so far in my life.
Wow, wow, wow. That's an interesting story. And you do this at the comfort of your home, or do you have like an office where you go to daily?
I
You do
have an
this
office in
from
my
home.
home, but I can do that. I mean, I can
Oh,
do that from anywhere, from
nice.
my bed, from my sofa, anywhere.
That's a pretty interesting story. Wow. So someone said in the comments, mom of triplets, she said social media is changing lives. You mentioned that it was a live stream like this one that you saw someone talk about it and you became more interested. And I'm sure after you heard about it on the live stream, what next step did you take to know more about the offer you just discovered or the opportunities that abound for freelancers? What was your next step?
Sweetheart, the regular thing you do when you hear about an information that is intriguing.
You will
I
be
jumped
shocked.
on Google, baby girl.
You'll be shocked that your regular next step is not everybody's next step. Some people
I
are very
jumped on
skeptical.
Google. I went to Google. I wanted to know everything. Like, is this for
Okay.
real? Are people making money from this? And then, of course, Google
Yeah.
answered, cleared my doubts. And YouTube too,
Okay.
of course.
Okay. So after clearing your doubts, what did you do next?
I
Sorry, I'm putting you on the
registered.
spot.
I
Okay.
registered for a life
You
changing experience.
Okay, wow. So after the live stream, you signed up for the class of the lady whose live stream you were on.
Exactly.
Wow, wow, wow. How long did the training last?
It was a 1 month training. It
Wow.
was a
And the
one
one
month
month,
training.
it was enough to get you started.
It was enough to get me started. Of course, I tell people that not someone can give you the push that you need, but you have to go an
Yeah,
extra mile if you really need something. So of course there was some knowledge that were more like introductory, all right.
yeah.
So more like, oh, you should know this, and of course I have to follow up to get all the knowledge that I feel to be confident enough to launch.
Okay, so now I've had this question a couple of times where people are concerned about how tech savvy they need to be before they
How
can
what?
do freelancing. Tech savvy, like how much of computer knowledge should they have? Is the
Mm-hmm.
basic computer knowledge, like if someone just knows how to turn on a computer and turn it off, or maybe just type ASDF column LKJ, if that's all they can do, or maybe watch Netflix on their computer, as in that's all they do with their laptop, are they eligible to be able to transcend or go survive in the freelance world? Someone with
All
basic
right.
computer knowledge.
So I think basic would work, but by basic I mean being able to run some functions on your laptop, being
Okay.
able to type, some functions, and of course, being tech savvy is not necessarily being able to do everything on using your laptop. I mean, some things you learn as you go, right? But being able, you know how you hand someone a phone and they're
Yeah.
able to figure it out, right? It's the
Yes.
same thing with a laptop. Being able to figure some things out by yourself. I mean, we are in the 21st century. Everyone
Yeah.
is tech savvy. If you can operate a phone, you are tech savvy. You just don't know
Yeah.
it yet. All right, all you need is just some basic brush up. I remember when I joined freelancing, yeah, when I tell people this, they don't, most persons kind of doubt me when I say that. The only knowledge I have about laptop was, I mean, I'm a graduate, right?
Yeah.
Apart from the
Yes.
10 paper, project work, and all of that you do. Aside from that,
Mm.
is Netflix, is movie, is YouTube for me on my laptop, right? So, but
Yeah.
I remember clearly I had to go brush up even my Microsoft Word skills, all right, being able to
Yeah.
type and use some functions as regards typing document, and even my what is it called? The spreadsheet, yeah, Excel.
Okay.
I had to go brush up, which is one of the things I tell people. Don't just, even you think you don't know it, but it just one night of trying to remember, brush up, and know how these things function, and you're good to
Yeah.
go, basically.
Okay. So if there's a mother somewhere sitting at home that wants to know how to start, how can I start? Like, what are like your, what is it like? If they say you should say what I wish I knew before I started freelancing, or what I
What
would
I
teach
wish I
you.
knew.
Yes. Like someone wants to
Okay.
start the journey and is uncertain about a whole lot of things. Now, let me paint a picture for you. This is a mom that has two kids and has not worked in 5 years. And of course, wants to stay at home and take care of the kids, who doesn't want a 9 to 5 because she cannot afford to leave the children at such tender age. She wants to be there for her children. But also she's looking for an alternative because she needs to make some money. What do you advise this Mother Teresa? Let's call her Mother Teresa. What would you advise this mother as the choice, a career choice?
All right. So one of the things I'm going to tell this mother is the basic things you need to succeed is right there. YouTube, Google. That is for one. And another thing I would advise you if you want to go into freelancing is get a coach.
Okay,
And do not just get a coach, pursue your coach.
very
That
important.
is truth. All right.
Yeah,
Get a coach. Very important. All right.
yeah,
I remember clearly after my training that I got a job a day after, the
yeah.
very next
Oh
day
wow,
after. But
wow.
between the time that I started my training to the time the training ended, there was something I was doing in between, online courses. All right.
Okay,
Refreshing, trying to, I mean, for a mom that has been home for 5 years, you may
sorry.
somehow start thinking that you are a cave woman. but you're
I'm
not.
telling
I
you.
mean,
I'm telling you.
yeah, I know. So I had to, I mean, what I studied in school is totally different from what I'm doing as a freelancer.
Please, what did
So
you
I
study in
knew
school?
that I had to go an extra mile to brush
What
up.
did you study in school? In case there's a
Animal
mother that
science,
studied
my
that.
darling. I did
Wow.
animal science. Can you believe that?
Interesting. I can't believe it. I didn't know this information, honestly.
But I'm an executive assistant, as we speak, and also a
Wow.
project manager. All right.
Wow.
So online trainings are very important. But of
Wow.
course, get a coach. Please get a coach. It will save you a world of I made a lot of mistakes. Yeah. My coach did an
Yeah.
amazing job. But even aside that, there were some mistakes that I made as a freelancer, anyhow, make I just
Yeah.
find work. You know what I'm talking about, Doris. All
I
right. So
understand.
some of these mistakes are stuff that a coach will tell you, oh, don't do this path, don't do this,
Yeah.
don't do this
Yeah.
to yourself. All right.
They'll make your journey easier. You don't have to do a lot of trial and error.
Exactly.
So if you're a
Exactly.
mom that wants to launch into the freelance space, after you have Googled and YouTubed all you can, please get a coach. So I wish you heard that part. So mom of triplets is saying, so from all she has said, it means you need to have a computer skill to navigate this space. Coach, please
Sorry,
respond.
I'm having a hard time hearing you.
From all she has said, so you can't see my screen. You can't see the screen.
I
I
don't know.
pinned
I
the
don't
post.
know. Okay,
Oh,
yeah, I'm seeing.
I
Sorry,
pinned
I was kind of. It
okay, I
means you
pinned
need
the
to have
post.
computer skills to navigate
Yes,
this space.
yes,
Yeah. I mean, you'll be working with your laptop, right? So
yes.
you need basic computer skill, but please, that shouldn't scare you, because
Okay.
like I said, basic computer skill is not rocket science. It is not at all right. This is
Yeah.
something I remember clearly. I had to go back to learn how to use Google Doc, Microsoft Word,
Me too.
and these
Even up
things,
till
I
now.
mean, in between 1 month, I brushed up my skills and I was good to go. I mean, I got my first job and it was a success, right? I
Wow.
aced the
Wow.
job. So don't think you don't have, just get a computer, and I mean those things, they don't bite. All right, explore.
Okay. So Francisca also has a question for you. Francisca John is on the screen as well. Please, the
Yeah.
question. I'm good in video editing and graphic designing. How do I apply this in freelancing?
Oh my dear, you are in very great company. I actually have a few persons that I know that are into video editing, graphic designing. Now, let's view it this as anything that you can do, a work you can do on your laptop and deliver. You can do that as a freelancer, whether it's proofreading, it's writing, storytelling, any of those stuff. All right. So as a graphic designer and a video editor, all you just need to do is get the knowledge about how to sell the
Yeah.
skill. All right. Having skills is one thing, but we are in that generation where someone with a lot of skill that do not understand how to sell it is
Yeah.
almost like you don't know anything, right? So someone
Yeah.
else with less skill than you do, that understand the branding and selling themselves on these platforms, would go a long way. So yeah, all you need to do is learn how to put yourself out there, the right freelancing platform for you, and then you are good to go.
Okay, now you mentioned skills. Can you just give us like someone that doesn't know her left from her right? Let's say she just got a gift of a laptop for the first time and just wants to enter into the freelance world and is wondering, okay, I cannot start video editing because it's going to be complicated. I cannot code. I cannot do data analysis or any of all those seemingly difficult skills. So, what would be like your top five? Let me not stress you. Your top five skills that you can recommend, and what is the basis of your recommendation? Should they do it based on passion or based on the simplicity to learn such skills? Like your top five on the top of your list for someone that is new laptop, new computer, everything.
My top five. I mean, I'm gonna go for the basic ones. We
Yeah.
have telemarketing. All
Okay.
right,
Explain what
telemarketing. I don't know.
telemarketing is.
I think that's one of the first thing I learned to comment, because it was one of the first job I did as a freelancer.
Okay. What
Telemarketing
does
is
that
just
entail? In case someone is wondering.
calls. Sit down in your home, make calls.
Is it the same thing
And
as cold calling?
huh?
Is it the same thing as
Yeah,
cold
yeah.
calling? Okay.
Yeah, cold calling. So making calls, all right. And
Okay.
if you have a good voice and you have a great command of the English language, I mean, basically, you can work as a telemarketer. Another
Okay.
one is customer service,
Oh
customer
wow.
support.
Hope you
You
are
know,
taking notes, you guys.
customer support. I mean, most every Nigerian. So there was
Mm.
this thing I saw online the other day, and they said when you're done with school, the next thing is come and patronize us. I mean, almost every
No more,
Nigerian
yeah.
is doing an
I
online
had my
business.
fair share. I had my fair share of things I have
You
sold in this
know,
life.
so
I have a long list.
somehow you already have basic skills of what it means
Skill,
to
yeah,
support
exactly.
customers, but you
Yeah.
just don't know. You just need to know how to sell that skill. All
Hmm.
right. You were once managing your mom's shop, your dad's business. You're a customer support agent, darling. All right. So that's something that you can do.
With
Customer
5 years
service.
experience, Seth.
5 years. 5 years of experience doing that. And another
Yeah.
one is virtual assistants. All right.
Okay.
So virtual assistant is actually a very ambiguous word.
It's a huge industry,
people throw
man.
people throw around that word a lot. VA. I mean, and I try to break that down for people, and I say VA
Okay.
is glorified PA. All
I'm
right.
telling you.
So view that as being someone assistant, personal or
Yeah.
business assistant. All right. So VA is vast in the sense that as the faces of the clients differ, so is their assistants differ.
Exactly.
So someone may hire you, and as a virtual assistant, they need you for a particular. I mean, I'm working for 3 clients as their VA, and each of them needs something
Different
different. Of course, we have a little
roles.
bit of similarities here and there.
Yeah.
Things about or maybe email management, scheduling appointment. Those ones kind of always comes in handy with being a VA. But CVA has been, if you're into administration, you love being organizing and all of that. Virtual assistance is another thing we want to consider. Another one is proofreading and transcriptions,
Okay.
right? So if
Yeah.
you have a good eye for English language, you can actually I know that I've done up to 3 projects along that line, proofreading. All right. So look at documents, correct the errors, punctuation, structures, and all of that. And social media management kind of still goes hand in hand with VA, but some persons like to call that a niche on its own. All right.
Yeah.
So most of you have you've grown your business on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter, on TikTok. All right, you're a content creator and all of that. Social media management may be an aspect or a niche you may want to go into. So you know how to run Facebook ads. I mean, these things you can learn in space of hours.
Exactly.
All right. You know how to run Facebook ad, you know how to create content or maybe design stuff to post to be able to sell a product. That can be another area. So I think I've called 5, right?
Yes, you
Yeah.
have.
So
So you
yeah.
mentioned telemarketing, customer service, being a virtual assistant, which is very vast. Just that word alone has a lot of other plenty
Mm-hmm.
ingredients underneath it. Then proofreading and transcription, and the last one you mentioned, social media management. And I just want to add, with regards to social media management, there are a lot of social media platforms. So you can even be a master of one social media platform, like
Meta
know
business.
everything about TikTok, know everything about
Exactly.
there is to know about LinkedIn, know everything about some of you are managing your YouTube channels effortlessly. Like mom of triplet now, this lady on this stream, she has like two YouTube channels, and I believe by now I think 2 of them are monetized. So that is a skill that someone is willing to pay for on Upwork that you can just switch, or any freelance space that you put it into. So we have another question from Mary on the screen. Say, please, I need tips and advice on how to land your first job on as a mom lancer. That's a question. So
All right.
is there any short tip or long tip? Like, is there any tip you can offer Mary on this live stream?
Okay, like I said, for those of you already on Upwork,
Yeah.
Fiverr, I'm not really into Fiverr, I mean.
Okay. Okay.
But
So you can use this opportunity and maybe mention a couple of freelance spaces that are
okay.
existing, or that freelancers in Nigeria especially can explore.
All right, we have Upwork, which is one of the most
Okay.
popular, Fiverr as well. And we have freelancer.com. We have Indeed, which somehow I'm a bit skeptical about that platform. And
Okay.
of course, people get job on LinkedIn too. All right. And then I think Hubstaff Talent and Truelancer.com. Those are the ones I know from the tip of my fingers.
Okay. I know there's people per hour. See, I'm now
People per
stammering.
hour, that was an amazing
Then
platform.
there's one that reached out to me on LinkedIn, Goops. I have never heard of them. I think it's a new one that is upcoming, and they are looking for freelancers to come and sign up. So Google is your friend, like she mentioned earlier. Feel free to explore. So explore away. So now going to the tip. The tip hasn't been shared.
Okay, how to land your first job as a mom lancer. All right. So here is the thing that I tell people, and somehow I've told a lot of my of persons that I coach, and it has worked. I mean, it's a formula, but it's working. All right. Now, one of the things is, like I said, having a skill is one thing. Being able to brand yourself is another thing. All right. So all these freelancing platforms have what we call a profile. All right. So it's more like you build your profile. Okay. So
Yeah.
being able to optimize your profile. All right. So I remember some persons reaching out to me and say, I just left from school. I just graduated from school and I've not had the opportunity to work,
Yeah.
firsthand and all of that. How am I going to? And I'm like, nobody is actually going to call anybody and say, has this person worked in your office before? All right. So I
Exactly.
tell them, you must have an employment history, coin one, draft
Yeah.
out one. Find a way
Yes.
around it. Talk to your friend that runs a business. Tell them, oh, please, I'm posing as your administrative assistant. All right. I'm posing as your social media manager because I know that this is something I can do. Just have not been opportune to do that in the career world per se. All right.
Yeah.
So the first thing is to build a profile that stands out, a profile that is believable. I mean, on this
Okay.
platform, seeing is believing. When people see a profile, the way you drafted out your employment history, the way you talked about your experience and what you can do, the words and the and all of that that you use to build that profile, anyone can believe you. All right. So you
Okay.
just have to make them believe you. And then another thing I tell people is, if you are a mom or a freelancer, a lady, whoever you are, and you're trying to grow a career as a freelancer, I mean, most persons spend hours on Instagram, on Facebook,
Yeah.
on Twitter, chatting away, following following
Trend.
celebrities and all of that. But
Funny
on
videos.
LinkedIn, I tell people, if you're on Upwork, most of those recruiters that are going to hire you are on LinkedIn. Now, in many occasions, I'm talking about 5, 6, 7, 8 times, I've received invites from people that were following me on LinkedIn. All right. So most
Yeah.
persons, so that is why if you have a profile on LinkedIn, you do not have to take that from, you have to be deliberate about selling yourself on LinkedIn. And I
Yeah.
know that Doris was so certified to that, right? That there are many
Yes. Most
persons that have
definitely.
gotten jobs like on Upwork, on Fiverr, because they talked about what they do on LinkedIn. I
On
mean, like I
LinkedIn.
said, most of these recruiters are on LinkedIn. All right. There is none of my clients that I've worked for, over 13 of them that I've worked for. I think it's just one or so that is not on LinkedIn. All right. Out of, if I have
Okay.
20 invitations, out of 20 of them, 15 were people that saw me on LinkedIn. I mean, during the course of our interview or conversations, they tell me. All right. So you have to go on LinkedIn. The same way you post about things, be deliberate about talking on LinkedIn. You have to talk. People have to see you.
Engage.
All right.
Yeah.
So on your profile, include what you do. I'm a freelancer on Upwork. This is the services that I provide. That will put you out there. I think that would help.
Okay, so branding, personal branding is very important. Set up a LinkedIn account and show up. Let people know what you're about. I know someone that has been trying to get a job on Upwork, and so far she had not succeeded. But recently, she went on Twitter. I don't even know what she was talking about on Twitter, but someone did an interview for her from Twitter. So I guess she was just marketing her skills, saying what she was all about and what it is, what kind of role she wanted to play. So a lot of times you might have a profile set up in a particular place, but you're also taking out your services on other platforms and making people aware of who you are and what you're about. And you'll be shocked that you might get a client, notice your LinkedIn and hire you on Upwork. So let's just read a few comments before we proceed. So Mom of Triplets is very active on this chat today. Thank you so much for being here. So from all okay, it means you have, okay, I've read that. So like I love to be there for my kids. Full and balanced parenting is important to me, and I hate anything that takes me off the home front. That is very important. That's what every mother wants. Imagine maybe
Yeah.
you do a 9 to 5, and all you do is going to be when you come home, your children are all asleep. Then what time do you have to bond with them? It's very important. And freelancing affords moms that kind of rare privilege. And that is why we're here sharing it. She said, wow, animal science. She's shocked she studied animal science. So he said, my niece is a virtual assistant and earns 50K monthly and gets paid for it each editing and graphic design. Okay, so 50K is good, but you can always do more than 50K. I know
Trust
moms
me.
that I know moms that do 1 million plus just by being virtual assistant. I know them. I've seen some, and I know some. Let's leave it at that. So my kids own laptops, and I told them to navigate it and discover how it works before I get someone to teach them micro and macro computer skills. So yes, I watched your YouTube video where you gifted your children those laptops, and I was like, wow, this is a wise mother. So she has a triplet and another child, so she has like 4 children. And I think, I don't know, it was her birthday. Mom, I'm talking about mom of triplets. She gifted her children laptops, and if they start now, trust me, the future is theirs to just take. Okay, so someone is asking the video will be uploaded on YouTube, and I said yes, it will be uploaded after this session. Virtual assistant can book appointment, take calls, organize online meetings. Exactly, mom of triplets. Okay, Francisca John is saying, thank you, Ma, for your answer. How then do I bring my skills out in freelancing and also get a coach? Coach Encee, over to you.
Okay, so how do I bring my skills out? All right, you
Yeah.
pen them down. I mean, all right.
No,
So
this
the
the Francisca already said she has graphic design skills. I think she was the one that
mhm.
mentioned it. Yeah. So how does she
So, like
use
I
it?
said, I was talking with someone this morning, a guy, he's into something very similar, graphic designing, video editing, and all of
Yeah.
that. So, I was looking at his profile. I told him this is good. All right. Because basically, he was talking about his experience, the tools that he's familiar with. All right. And all of that. So, you have a skill, which is video editing. What and what? Do you have a portfolio? Do you have a work that you've done before now? All right. Potential
Yeah.
clients may want to see that, especially for
Yeah.
those that are into graphic designing and stuff like that. Your potential
Yes.
clients may want to see. All right. So another thing is, of course, talking about the tools that you use. Do you use Photoshop? Do you use Canva? Do you use, I think another one is Adobe, I think, and all of
Definitely.
that. What tools do you use in your video editing graphic? If you're able to sit down and draft out a profile that lists all those things, or I've been doing this for 4 years. All right. These are the tools that I use to do this. This is how I achieve my results and all of that. Of course, attaching a portfolio of the previous work that you've done, maybe for previous clients or something, that would also go a long way for you.
Okay, so it still boils down to putting out yourself out there. So
Yeah,
Francisca, to answer to just add to what she has said, you do video editing, post it on your on WhatsApp. WhatsApp is even an advertisement tool on its own. Post it on WhatsApp, post it on Facebook, post it on LinkedIn. You know, most times we are busy posting pictures of our pouting and doing other things, forgetting that that skill you have is your skill and your service that you render. So while others are posting nightwears, while others are posting dresses they are selling, post the videos you have created. You don't know, your friends might contact you. Okay, do a birthday video for me,
sell
or you can
yourself.
even,
People will not
yes,
know.
everywhere. You will see
Everywhere.
someone will contact you. Ah, please, can you make a logo for me for my church? And you can start it as little as 2K. But when you make that logo, save it in what we call a portfolio or a sample. So whenever someone is inquiring about your work, you can always pull one out from your arsenal and say, okay, this is what I can do for you. And that way you
Exactly.
be gaining credibility over time. I interviewed someone, my very first guest on this freelancer episode, Ayomi Posi. He's a video editor, and he said, and I quote, that the way he landed his first video editing job was on posting it on social media. So a friend saw it and introduced him to a client who now hired him on Upwork, and that was his first client. So if he had not
Amazing.
been making those moves, who would know he could do it? So a lot of us have so many skills on our inside, but nobody knows you can do that. So most of you
Exactly.
don't know I can talk like this, but when I start doing live streams, you now know what I'm capable of. So put yourself out there. There's no, if you don't take risks, you won't see the reward. So Francisca, that is the number one. Number two, I am a coach on Upwork. I am a freelance coach, and my beautiful guest is an amazing coach as well. If I'm being honest, she's one of my coaches. I actually had two coaches when I started this journey. One was in episode 2, and she's in episode 3. So I had to bring my coaches on my stream. So if you want a coach, here we are at your service. So feel free to find us on LinkedIn. I told you her name when she started, Odichine Chereb. I am not going to hide or hold information from you. I'm not going to say don't come to me or don't go to her. You are at liberty to choose whoever. Like I am. It's fine. It's very fine. So I can make recommendations for you, and it's not an issue. So feel free. I think you have a training coming up when, please, Ma, please let them know. You have a
Me
training
next
coming up.
next week.
Yes. Okay, next week. While I mine is on I think is on the ninth. Yeah, mine is in March. So I don't know how it's doing you. If it's doing you, start. Then reach out to her and jump, whichever works. But the point is, whatever information you get today, start implementing. Don't wait for forever, because the more you wait, the more these things you now know would now be fading away from your head. Okay, so let's take a little comment again. Mom of Triplets is saying people actually conduct interviews on Twitter and LinkedIn. Yes, they do, even on Facebook. So you can land clients anywhere, provided you're giving out value and all that. So how do you merge? Another question. Oluchi, you're welcome on this stream. Oluchi saying, how do you merge a full-time employment with Upwork? Because I have tried it and had to stop because it was really difficult to merge both. Please, ma, how do you merge a full-time employment in Upwork? I know you, I think you
Wow.
have success stories of people that merge the two. I think you have a lawyer in, I don't know, I think I've seen you post
Mm-hmm.
them. Please help
So
Oluchi
here
with
is the
this.
thing. I do not advise people to quit their jobs because
Okay.
they want to go into freelancing. That is the one first thing. Um, but one thing I will say is that out of say 20 persons that have reached out to me, joined Upwork, and they had a full-time job, most of them had to let go of that full-time job for
I have
freelance.
heard stories as well.
And the reason is that, I mean, everyone that enjoys the flexibility and the freedom that comes with
Yeah.
freedom somehow, that comes with freelancing, you know, nobody wants to pass that on, right? So, if you have a full time job, I would advise that you may want to start with project based jobs. It's not going to be
Yeah.
easy, all right, but I would never advise anyone to quit their jobs and then start freelancing. All right, so freelancing, of course, as you're building your profile, you start applying. When you get a job and you feel that this is something that I feel I can do, or I can let go of my full-time. I mean, I have some of my students that are still combining their on-site
9 to 5.
jobs with freelancing. So for let's take for instance, I have a friend of mine. She's a teacher in a federal school, all right, and so she gets to teach from morning to around, they close around 2:30, and she's working for a US client. All right, so US, of course, their time zone. She gets to start working around 3:34, so she gets to work from then till around 12:11 p.m., and then she
Wow.
sleep, and the next day she's at school. All right, so and right now, she's in that place of she's going to have to let go because she's stressing out. All right, she's almost born out because she has
Wow.
combined these two things for almost 1 year. I mean, she's a superwoman. Okay, so if you have a full-time job, I would say you may consider maybe finding jobs, maybe US jobs, something that you can find a way to. There are many jobs that are flexible, all right, but most times you don't know it at face value, right, that they are flexible jobs. But
Yeah.
there are jobs that are flexible depending on the kind of work that you're doing, that just probably need you to do a few things and then need some time, maybe meeting times and all of that. So you can start, all right, and then if over time you notice that I can't combine this, you may have to let go, and you have to know what you have to let go. I mean, I can't decide that for you.
Yeah. Okay. So from my own experience, I didn't actually have a 9 to 5 before I started freelancing. Thank God. But I was actually pursuing one that was going to pay me 80K as at then. And funny enough, they were now delaying. They didn't give me the job until I now bumped into the freelance world. And oh, more some days the 80K can come in 1 week. And that's it. Then I know someone that worked in an architectural firm. I don't know how much she was earning working there, but when she had built a brand in the freelance space, she had to quit the other
Wait.
job and focus strictly on freelance. So it's not something you make like a sudden decision to just abandon
Exactly.
and focus. So you have to deliberately build the freelance stream, the stream of income that comes from there,
And
and
transit.
decide whether you want to let go. Because if you're a lawyer, for instance, and you want to grow, maybe become chief justice of the federation tomorrow, then possibly there's no quitting for you. So like she advised, you might have to take on fixed jobs and jobs that you can do that won't take so much of your time. You might not be able to give in full time like most of us do, but you just might want to just be getting $1 or $2 coming into your hands, or 10 or 15 or $20. So you just take on small tasks that won't take so much of your time, because freelancing, it is time consuming. Yes, if you want to get most of
If you
your
want to make a
freelance,
hell of money, yeah, that is the
the
truth.
more
That money is
money,
going to
more
tell.
pay, more hours you put in, the more money that comes into your hand. So time is money. Even as we're talking now, it's the money that is passive, but it's fine. Okay, so let me see if there's another question. Okay, mom of triplets is saying don't quit. If you don't have a job, put in your best to get it done. Okay, so someone you can oh, this is me saying you can connect with us on LinkedIn, Instagram, or Facebook. Okay, thank you. I really appreciate the direction. Okay, I have one question I wanted to ask. What has been your major challenge? I know you're a mom and you have a son you take care of. I know he goes to school as well and all that, but he comes back from school. Like my kids, I had to lock them out to make this video right now. And even as I'm talking, I'm hearing small voices. But then I know they'll be fine because I don't have someone watching them. I am home alone for now because I work from home as well. This is my mini studio. So, what is your greatest challenge? What would you say is your greatest challenge as a mom that is into freelancing? How do you balance the whole?
Woo. Now we're
Yeah.
getting to the juicy part, right?
Yes. Exactly.
Okay, so the thing is, yesterday I took time to interview some of my students that are mom
Oh
lancers
wow.
like myself. So
Nice.
I wanted to
Nice.
get a lot of other perspective because I mean people handle things differently.
Differently.
So
Exactly.
I remember I was talking to one of them that has my son is 2 years plus, so he's a toddler, but this particular
Okay.
lady has more like a quite younger child, and currently she has a full-time job in the US. All right. So and I was like, how do you do this? All right, how do you do
Wow.
that? All right. And one of the things that she told me is that which is one of the first I'm going to say as a mom
Okay.
lancer that it's going to go far, you
Yeah.
also have to understand being able to organize yourself and be disciplined. All right.
Yeah.
So you just can't. I mean, like Doris said, your hour is your money is equivalent to the hours you get to work. Right.
Yeah. Okay, so organize yourself. Time management is key. Why we try to rectify issue on that end. So you have to organize yourself, know how to allocate time to various things in your life, especially if you work 9 to 5. That is very important. If not, you'll be juggling up so many things and you end up so stressed. So time management is the thing she's trying to emphasize on. So yeah, let me just put it in there while we wait for her to show up again. Okay, so Jennifer, you're welcome. If you have your questions, any question you have for our coach today, please drop it on the chat box and I will project it on the screen and she would respond to it and you will get clarity as needed. Okay. So, okay, before she reconnects. So time management is very important. So as she was saying, organize yourself. I am a mother myself. Sorry, I have a background. I'm trying to coordinate. So I have a mother myself. I have 2 kids. I'm not like mom of triplets. I just have two that I also in school. They're quite young. I have a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old with me. So sometimes I take on tasks. I currently work with 3 clients, just like Encee as well. And sometimes, like for the whole day, I am busy. So what I do is I maximize the times where they are off to school because that time is like it becomes my most productive time. And why it so happened that way was because okay, Pamela, I will get right to that. Why it happened that way is because I actually landed a job for with a UK client. So that way, UK time currently is just an hour behind us. So that way I can work when it's 9 here, it's 8 a.m. there. So when I'm supposed to resume work, I start working by 9 and I'm on the job till like 3 when the kids come back. And by then I'm almost done with my work, like the work that needs urgent attention. And after that, I have a US client who I work for later, say like 4 or 5 towards maybe 9 p.m. or so. So when that happens, once my children get back from school, I just take care of their needs, I feed them, and I do just try to get them all settled. Then I try to sort out a little other things in the course of the time I have. And after which when they sleep or when they go to bed, if I have any other outstanding thing I need to do that wasn't so urgent during the day, I would now attend to it. Okay, our coach is back. Our guest is back on the stream. So yes, time management is what she was talking about, and she's back to continue
Hello.
from where she started. You're welcome back. I was just throwing more light
Uh,
on the time management you were talking
I don't
about.
know. I
Sorry.
think that was my network.
No, it's fine. Nigeria happens to all of us. Okay.
Thank you. So
So
sorry about that.
no, it's fine. Please go ahead.
Okay, yeah, we can continue, of course.
No, I was just talking about what you mentioned time management. So I was just saying
All right. So
practically how
back to what I
I
was
do that.
saying. Having your to-do list. I mean, as a mom, you're not a single lady that can lie in bed all day, do whatever you have to do, and
Okay, please, as I have a question I need you to attend to, but just when you finish this one, I Onyinye
yeah, you can
Ezioku
continue with
asking.
that. I would love to hear that.
As in, there's a question on
Can
the
you finish up
screen.
with that?
No, no, I'm done with that. You, as in, we're talking about the challenges, your challenges
Can
as
you
a
hear me?
freelancer. Yes, I can.
Oh,
Yes, yes, I can hear you.
can you hear me?
Yes, yes, I can hear you. Maybe you can hear me, but I can hear you. Okay, so before she comes back again, Pamela, you're saying please briefly explain freelance job again. Okay, freelancer is basically someone that works from home or from anywhere they want to work from for clients that online remote work, because that's what we're talking about. So why it's called freelancing is because you are liberty to choose whichever skill set you want to sell to the clients you want to offer those skills and services to. And in the beginning of the stream, and our guest Encee mentioned like top 5 skills that anybody, including mothers who doesn't have prior computer knowledge, can pick up and sell on as a freelancer. And the top 5 you mentioned was telemarketing, customer service, virtual assistant, proofreading, and social media management. So that's basically what a freelancer does. So if you're going to be a freelance social media manager, you're going to start selling your social media management skills to clients that would pay you to maybe respond to comments on their Facebook or make posts consistently on their Facebook or whatever needs they have regards to the social media. So basically, that's what freelancing is about. So when you want to start your freelance journey, you choose a particular skill you want to sell and you start marketing yourself as an expert in that particular field. And if someone sees you, or when you join platforms like Upwork, Fiverr, People Per Hour, freelancing.com, or any other freelance platform there is, when you set up your profile and apply to jobs, when someone sees your proposal and likes it, they hire you and you get paid to work for clients. So to answer your second question, can you hear me now, please?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, please, you can take the second question. Is freelancing limited to a particular geographical location before we go back to the challenges? So is it limited to a particular geographical location? Can you freelance
No,
from
it's not.
everywhere? Okay, but do you need network in whatever location you're in?
Yeah,
Okay, but
you
it's,
need
yeah,
network, right? And your
yeah,
laptop. I mean, you can work from anywhere. You can work from anywhere. All you need is your laptop, your internet, yourself, you're good
yeah.
to go. So that's the
Okay,
beautiful
so
thing about freelancing, the flexibility. You can
Onyinye
work from anywhere.
Onyinye Zoku has hit us with the most asked questions that we get on this platform. I
I'm
hope
telling you, that was just
freelancing.
me.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's the most asked question. People just assume it's affiliate marketing or network marketing. So that's why when I saw the question, I smiled and I said this question has to be answered. So I hope freelancing isn't network marketing in disguise. Please answer.
It's not network marketing. All right. So now, I mean, I think Doris has explained what freelancing is all about. Freelancing is working. Okay.
Real
So
work.
we have people that work on site as administrators, accountants, customer care representatives, and all of that. But now you get to do that from your home and you get to do that for clients across. Well, now, let me give you an example, right? I have a
Okay.
client, she's a coach, she coaches CEOs and all of that, and she's
Oh
based
wow.
in San Francisco. All right. So she hired me as her administrative assistant. What do I do? I'm in the meeting with her. We are brainstorming. We are trying to reach out to the people that she's coaching. We are booking appointments, for her virtual meetings. I'm helping her prepare workshops, and all of that. So it's still like what I would have done for her if I
Work,
was
yeah.
right there with her in France. San
San
Francisco.
Francisco.
But
Yeah.
because I can do all of that from my laptop, I mean, we get to have meetings. I get to open her email, reply her clients, book her appointment in her calendar, help her with editing her slides and all of that. And most times even jump on meetings to take action point of the things she needs to do for the month. All right. So that is not network marketing, that is administration. All right. So I even have some person that teach
Yeah.
online. You know that, right? So I,
Yeah.
I I remember seeing a job that was looking for someone to help teach their I think the boy was 10 years
Okay.
algebra.
Oh
So
wow.
someone can take up this job, they on Zoom teach the boy, or do this and all of that, interact. So any kind of job that, apart from of course some things like maybe engineering job that are hands on, anything that can be done and executed on a laptop, you can do that as a freelancer, from making calls, managing social media platforms, calling clients, chatting with customers on different platforms.
Yeah.
Any of these jobs, even the marketing you're talking about, can still be done as a
It's a
freelancer.
skill,
You know,
exactly. But
it's just
the,
about
the
nothing.
only difference, I mean, the major is in fact, it cannot even be associated with network marketing.
No,
The
it's not
only
different. Being
marketing,
one
the
person,
only
being two
marketing
person.
you're marketing on the freelance platform is yourself and your skills. You're marketing your skills and your services. So that's the marketing you're doing. You're not bringing one person to bring, it's yourself. You're bringing yourself to the freelance platform and telling clients about yourself and the services you're selling. And if they like what you're putting out there, they would hire you, just like someone would maybe buy or sign up for a network marketing product. You are the product that they are selling.
Yeah.
So freelancing is not network
What are you
marketing, it's
selling?
not affiliate marketing, it is freelancing, it's real work. Sometimes when you say freelancing, people's image maybe just see you balling and lying down on your bed, or they think Yahoo Yahoo.
I love when they think it's Yahoo Yahoo. I actually love when they think it's Yahoo.
Oil money. But some days I am awake by 1 a.m. taking interviews, by 3 a.m. making interviews. Someone thinks you're balling, but you're actually doing a whole lot of
Working.
work. Just you're not on site, you were just online. And maybe you can now take whatever position you want to take to get the job done, but you're always working. A freelancer is not balling. A freelancer is putting in a whole lot of work to earn the money that we earn. The only difference is we earn it in foreign currency. And
And
it's
then
so
you're
beautiful.
flexible to determine what you want to take and when you don't want to do it.
You can hire and fire at will. Okay, so
And
Nide laughed. Nide, please help us and laugh well. So we have another question. Olu Dotun, please forgive me. Dotun for short. Omolala. Omolola, yes, I know that one. Please, what laptop storage is required for a freelancer or virtual assistant? Please, coach. What is there a limit
okay.
to the storage
So
your laptop should have?
I tell people that this is more like when you're trying to count five before counting
Okay.
one. All
Okay.
right. So the story behind mine is this. My first work, Doris, my
Yeah.
laptop was like a TV.
Oh wow.
Trust me. So I was just ruggeding it. At Nigerians, we hustle now. I was just ruggeding it
Yeah.
anyhow. And after 1 month of doing my telemarketing job, I had enough money, bought a new laptop, bought
Wow.
something that I needed and all of that. So you can, if you don't really have the money, I mean, the more you progress as a freelancer, you make life easier.
Yes.
Currently, I have solar system in my house. I
Yeah.
don't have light issues, internet issues. I've tried to find systems around it. So the
Yeah.
more you grow, the more equipment become more like, it's more like you're trying to spice up your business, right? So, but
Yeah.
if you have the fund and you want to buy a new laptop, I would say please you should go for at least 8 gig RAM and all of that. Something better than buying something not maybe 4 gig RAM and all of that. All right, and maybe I think
And
they call it
a more
SVG
recent
storage.
Windows.
Yeah, the more
Yeah.
recent Windows. Yeah. So if you have the means and you want to
Yeah,
maybe
more recent Windows.
you want to buy something, all right. But if what you already have is maybe say 4 gig RAM, low storage, you can. I mean,
Start it.
just find jobs
Start it
that are
up
not really
now.
that tasking to start. Providing jobs, telemarketing jobs. You can. I mean, my job for the period of 1 month, I was ruggeding that laptop like that, and just trying to charge it
So when
and
it comes
do my
on,
work. Hmm?
when it comes on, like I would say virtual assistants, I don't know personally, I don't think we need so much space as a video editor would need.
Yeah.
So whatever it is you have, like Encee has said, feel free to start with it. Then when you start earning enough to change or buy the biggest memory capacity
It's your
laptop
tool.
there
You can
is,
change. You can buy a
enjoy.
Mac Pro.
Because it's one thing you need to do. You can invest in your tools, and of course you can, but don't let slow storage um laptop stop you from starting, because what I have noticed people do is that they create imaginary reasons why they
Excuses.
cannot start. I'm telling you, like you put that touch them here, you solve this one, they say it's this one, you solve this one, they say this one. There's always something. Trust me, you are the only one stopping yourself. I personally took a loan to start my freelance journey, in case you did not
Wow.
know. So I took a loan and I had to get my laptop. I got it then 130,000 naira, and I sat myself down with my laptop. I said, "Laptop, you must produce. You must." So I had that. I will not. I cannot give up mindset when I started my journey. And if I'm being on in less than a month, in less than a
You got
month,
the money.
I've got the money back, and I've refused to upgrade the laptop yet. But I will do that. So it's working. It's not like it's actually, well, it wasn't brand new, but it was working. It was serving, and it's still serving us right now. So that's the thing. Stop excuses. Stop it. Just lay it somewhere and pursue this dream. If it's the if you love flexibility or more, if you love money, like good money that you can just stand up without telling your husband necessarily and take your children out to buy ice cream. I know mothers, this stream is specifically for mothers. That's why we are emphasizing on mothers. We know mothers that you are depending on your husband. You even when you're pregnant, or your cravings, you have to wait for honey to come back, or you want to buy pen, honey
Yeah.
must come back. You want to buy crayfish in the house, or honey must come back. That is what we want to change. We're not saying don't be a submissive wife, but we're saying become a woman with your own money. That even when kasala burst in the house front, you can contribute. You can contribute. A woman that
Yeah.
is empowered, a woman that is earning and also helping. Like I said in one of my posts I put out, I said, be the woman that gives your husband rest. So come and learn. So you give woman that gives your husband rest. Okay, so Onyinye is asking, as an accountant with a 9 to 5 job, how do I join the freelancing industry?
All
Okay.
right. So, like I said, is determination, right? If I
Yeah.
know a lot of bankers, I've trained a lot of them that are just not into what they do. All right. So,
A
what I
lot of
advise
them.
is something I said before: join the platform, maybe get training. All right.
Yeah.
Create a profile. By the time you land your first job, where go, give you, and your
Morale.
chest stamp, say me, I'm out of
Yeah.
here. All right. Then
Tell
you
you.
can do that. But by all means, please do not quit your job. All right.
Yes.
I mean, taking a training doesn't stop you from. I remember I was training, and at night I would go on YouTube, babes. I will watch videos. So when you come back from work,
I
join
still watch up
trainings,
till now,
watch
Steph.
videos, do your research. By the time you create your profile and you land your first job, you may find a reason to quit if that's what you're looking for.
Yeah, over time. So start small. Then what I also add to this, when you create your profile, accountants are in demand, but there are softwares that your normal accounting office in Nigeria might not be using. So when you
Exactly.
set up
Quick
a
books.
profile, you QuickBooks, yes, you would see things that or jobs posting for accountants specifically. You can even be a bookkeeper. It sounds like nonsense in Nigeria, but
Mhm.
trust me, online a
It's a
bookkeeper
big
is
deal.
gold, especially if you know the right softwares to use. People need their records to be put together. So you can be a bookkeeper and you're a bookkeeping expert. You know all the softwares to recommend to the client to, and you can do that for 10 businesses at a go. And that's
Yeah.
cool money. That's cool money. So
I
she's still
always
asking
advise people go for something that you love to do, right?
exactly something you're
Go for
passionate
something like I
about.
remember my lawyer friend. I told her
Yeah.
something. I said, I know that she told me how much she was earning as a lawyer in Port Harcourt, and I was shocked. So I told her, do you know you don't have to just go into administration, go into legal, and as we speak, she's
Wow.
working for 3 law firms in the US, 3 of them.
Wow.
All
Wow.
right, so she's
Wow.
still
That's
doing
great.
her legal writings and all of those stuff,
Yeah.
but this time around, her level has changed, right? So
Increase, of
if
course.
if you're into accounting, like I was speaking to a lady yesterday, she's also a banker and she has a
Oh,
daughter and she just can't cope. So what I told her is, you are into accounting, don't go to the very oversaturated fields, right?
exactly.
Sell
Exactly.
that, but one thing you do for me is you have to find the virtual tools that you
Yeah.
need to excel as an accountant or whatever in the
And learn
freelancing
it.
world. One of them is QuickBooks. We have Zoho Books and some of those. All right, just
Yeah.
equip yourself, and I mean you are good to go.
You're good to go. So can I use phone in the place of laptop to do the job? This question, I really don't know how to answer it a lot of times. Laptop is laptop, phone is phone. I don't
You
know. But
can't.
please,
All right.
okay.
There are things I know that there's this stuff about I don't even think it's still in vogue. There was this kind of job that came out one time about, I don't know if you know it. I'm trying to remember the name for it. It was more like a chat stuff. I can't remember it. I don't see a lot of jobs on that area again. There was a time it was very
Okay.
prominent. It's people can do that with their phones, and So, but major when I talk about work, all right, where you are doing maybe you are someone's invoice, administrative
Manager.
assistant, you are someone's, you need a laptop. The reason is that there's some functions that your phone cannot do. All right, things like if you get an hourly paid job and they need to track your time, you cannot do that with your phone. A phone can't track time. So there's some functions that your phone cannot do, and that is why we always say, please get a laptop.
Yeah, laptop is very important. So save up for one and get it. I wouldn't say that. I read a story of someone on LinkedIn. The lady said how she was able to afford a laptop was because she was determined. Because I believe determination can get you anywhere. You might have just
Yeah,
a
yeah.
phone now, but if you're determined, you will succeed. So she said what she did was she set up her profile. Then she started getting jobs. When she gets jobs, she would borrow people's laptops to do the job.
Alani's
Over
story.
time, oh, that's what Olani did too. No,
He
there's this
didn't
one
have
was a
a phone. He
lady.
didn't have a laptop. He's
Oh
a
wow,
writer, so he would just probably enter cafes, get
cafes.
his job done,
Okay,
submit the work to
this
the
one,
client.
someone in the Philippines. I don't even know which country she was from. So that's how she kept on borrowing laptops.
It's just that go-getter
Determination,
mindset.
mindset,
I'll have to
exactly.
find a way.
Mindset,
People tell
exactly.
me electricity, this, and I tell them, what is your problem? That is not even a problem.
Someone,
Carry
someone
your
has told me
laptop,
data.
find a cyber cafe, sit down there, get your work done. You mustn't be in your house comfortable.
You
That we say
mustn't.
work from home doesn't mean you must work from home. If there is a friend of
Exactly.
yours that always have lights, go to their house and work from their house. You know,
Exactly. Someone told me data, but that same person, of course, will watch maybe funny videos on YouTube. But they will not invest the same data. So let's just read a few comments. We are almost, oh my god, this is an hour. This is supposed to be an hour stream, but we
I'm
have
telling
so
you.
much.
We've not even
Okay,
gotten to how
as
to manage
in,
your life
can
as
you
a mom and all of that.
exactly like let me just take a few comments and it's like I'll hand over to you and maybe stop taking questions like for now. So I started with my laptop that was like a desktop. Wow. After my first payment, I went to get a new battery. That is Nide's story. That is so inspiring. Wow, wow.
Yeah.
You see, she didn't give up because her laptop was desktop. I'm sure maybe when NEPA takes like the laptop will go off, but today's story has changed. So I created my workspace and made it comfortable for me. Thanks for the explanation, Pamela. You're welcome. Thank you, Oludotun. Okay, someone is asking, what job can a caterer or chef do in the freelance space? Please respond.
Hmm. All right. So,
Thank you.
like I said, freelancing allow you to do things you can do from your laptop. I mean, you can cook from there,
Yeah,
But I would say that there are many other things I'm passionate about, right?
yeah,
But I love to teach for one, So I know people that love to cook, but the idea is I also know people that love to sew. But the idea you're looking for a side hustle, freelancing as
yeah.
a side hustle. So you can cook your stuff during your free time and all of that. But as a freelancer, what virtual skills are you passionate about? And that's what I'm going to advise. All right. So
Yeah.
you can still go into if it's content creation, you love to write and all of that. So it's not a must that thing that you're doing, the chef thing, you have to take it into freelancing. You can just do freelancing as a side hustle you are doing alongside being a chef. All right. So if it's you love to talk, you love to support customers, you love to, you can think of going into customer support. You like to write content. I have a friend, she likes to
Even
write
maybe
stories.
content around food.
Huh?
Content around
Yeah,
food.
content around food, so you can actually go to maybe but the thing is that it's going to kind of limit, you may not see a lot of jobs in that
Yeah,
area. All right, so that's
definitely.
why I said view freelancing as a side hustle, find something else you
Yeah.
love to do. All right, are you into organization, project management, something like that you can just do. The idea is to get money alongside your chef
Yeah.
and catering
Work.
business.
Yes, because it's not a skill you can sell virtually.
Yeah.
It's only in Nigeria, maybe the Nigerian to buy from WhatsApp because they see you around. So when you're thinking skills, think in the line of things you can offer to someone anywhere in the world, not just within your geographical area. So Joy is asking, as an ex-banker who has some customer service experience, what tools can you equip yourself with that can help you stand a chance of getting job? I know one, Zendex. Please continue. Number
Yeah, I know
two.
one hotspot.
Okay. So
So the
Google
idea
Array.
is this thing is very easy, right? It's
Yeah.
vast out there. There are many tools as a VA that I can use. Many of them I've never even gotten to use, but I love to have idea of what they are used for.
Yes,
So if you
yes,
just go
yes.
on YouTube, my darling, just type customer
Beginners
support tools as a
for
freelancer.
beginner.
Millions will be there. So just be letting they go. That's all.
Okay, Pamela, I think you joined the stream late, but she's asking what more major professions are needed in freelancing. Must you be a graduate? Okay, no, you mustn't be a graduate. You
You
just need to
mustn't.
have skills you can sell online. And we mentioned the basic skills that anybody can learn that is not so complicated. In the beginning of the stream, and I think I've called it, but let me call it again for your sake. Telemarketing, which involves making calls for a client, customer service, virtual assistant, proofreading, and social media management. In your freelance world, nobody cares how many certifications you have. All we care is, can you do the job? Over time, if you want to even go ahead and get certifications, you type on Google free certification courses, you will see a lot that you can do in one day and get certified. So in the freelance space, we don't need your animal husbandry certificate as much as we need your certificate for customer service foundation. So I hope that answers your question. Laptop makes it easy generally, someone said, and thank you so much. So please, let's jump into the mom discussion. It's over to you now. Let's not get distracted so we can wrap this up in the next 10-15 minutes.
Please, please, by all means.
Oh,
All right.
yeah.
So, like I was saying, I spoke with some persons, and I noticed that as a mom, you have
Yeah.
to you have to understand time management. All
Yes.
right. I teach, and then I work. I have a little boy, and then I just have to find a way around it because all this, most times I'm in and out of meetings and all of that. That is where time you wake up in the morning, you have to organize yourself. Okay, I need to make food. I cook once a month. But of course, we have the cooking, mini cooking. I'm talking about the major cooking. So I go to market
Yeah.
once a month. I stock up my house once a month. I get to make soups and stew and all of those things that you make in bulk
Yeah.
that you can always just combine into a dish and all of
Yeah.
that. All right. So you have to be organized. You have to be super organized. You just can't be all over the place, right? You are a super
Yeah.
mom. A freelance mom has to be a super mom. Learn to write your to-dos. What do you have to do? Like sometimes on my list, I have to go and immunize my son. I have to go do this. I have to pick up my son by this time. I even set reminders for myself so that my this arm is not suffering because of this. All right.
Yes.
So the next thing is, like I was saying, I was talking to another lady, and she says you need to talk with your husband. All right. So this lady was telling me how she works hand in hand with her husband. All right. So now this man works, she also works. So this is not when she used to just be in the house doing nothing basically. All right. So two of them have to have that conversation. Okay, I'm helping you out with this. I'm doing the laundry. You make food. Because I know that when I leave the house, they're going to work. All right. So most persons also go for daycares. All right. One of my students was telling me that she doesn't have a help, so she sent her child to daycare by 12, brings her back around 4, and the reason is because she always has a meeting by 3:30 every day. And of course, she
Wow.
can't hold a baby that maybe you don't know when they're going to start crying or start requesting for something. All right. So she needed an avenue. Now, so many persons, it can be daycare for one person, it can be having a neighbor or a friend of yours that lives nearby, that when you know that maybe I'm meant to be in a meeting. I mean, most times when I'm working, my son is right beside me watching TV and I can still work. But when I'm meant to be in a meeting, that can't happen, right? So if maybe you have a work that requires that you are in and out of meetings, most of these people are not that, they have time for their meetings, right? So you can have a friend, maybe a neighbor or whatever. They can be like, oh, please, can you always, can we always have a play date where I bring my child over to your house to play with your kids, and then after an hour I'm back for my baby, stuff. If it's daycare that will work for you, you know best. Another thing I say is this: if you need a help, get one. Many persons are very skeptical about getting help in the house. All right, maybe a house help in the house. All right, but I say this: some bankers have help and they leave these people with their kids and they go to work. As a freelance mom is different. That is why I love freelancing. I, for one, I have a help in the house. But this time around, like I'm here doing what I'm doing. My son is in the next room with my help, who's watching the
Yes.
TV. If he cares to scream, I can tell you guys, hey, excuse me, I have a
Yeah.
family emergency, right? So
Yeah.
it's not more like you are abandoning your child for someone to take care of. You're just a mom that needs help here and there with
Yeah.
some things while you get your work done. So
Done.
if
Yeah.
you need a help, by all means, I mean, most
Get
of us,
one.
you start working, you're making so much money, you can pay for it, right? So if you need to pay someone to maybe maybe run to the market, get some things, do the laundries, clean the house, hold on to your babies when you need to, it's still it's very important that you do that. The idea is find what works for you. All right.
Yeah.
you have a husband that is flexible that can help. I remember when my help left for a while, I had to communicate with my husband. So I had a meeting. All he had to do was come back and just stay with our son for the period of 1 hour that I had my meeting, and then he was off to work, and I continued doing my work with my boy right beside me. Right. So you just need to find what is going to work. There is no shortcut or no formula for this. What works? If you need help, please ask for help. Because like I said, the more you can do, the more you can earn. So if you're earning
Yes,
so much, it doesn't really hurt to pay someone 20K,
it
15,
doesn't.
30 to help you come around, maybe clean the house for you, go to the market for you, hold on to your child during your meetings and all of that.
Okay.
Yeah, communicate and delegate. Yes.
Okay. Is there any other thing you want to share?
No, I think except you have some questions, but I think
Okay.
having
So
a
my
supportive
last
is very important.
my last question, so we can wrap up this live stream. I believe we have covered a lot of grounds today. So I want to share. I want you to help me do two things. I want to share with us what has been your greatest motivation in your freelance, because we know that the freelance space is not cruise, it's not pure cruise. Like I know some people here might be trying to land their first job, second job, third job, and so on and so forth. But what is that thing that when you started was like a motivation to you, that you told yourself, I can't just give up now? Like, what is your greatest motivation to be a freelance success? Then give a charge to mothers out there that are too dependent and just need to wake up and start doing some things for themselves. So two things and we're done. Thank you.
All right. So my greatest motivation was I needed this, right? I this can allow me to have it all. Most persons say you can't have it as a mom, you have to let go, but this can allow me have it all. Be an amazing wife, an amazing mom, and still the mom that has the money. So that was my motivation. I just had to do this for my son. I just can't see myself going back to the regular jumping 8 to 5 jobs and all of that when people are making it in this area. All right. So I wanted to have the flexibility to be able to travel, go for my son's PTA meetings. I wanted to have that. So that was my biggest motivation. I told myself, NC, there are people that are doing this and it's working. You have to make it work. Have to go beyond, above everything to make it work. So that was my biggest. I don't know, for some mothers, I know that it's freelancing is like a dream come true for us. Being able,
It is.
I mean, if I tell you how much some of these mothers make from their home, one was telling me in a month I make 1 million. I was like, babes, I'm super proud of you. All right, imagine making that amount and you still have the liberty of nursing your child, making your own food for your family. I mean, it's enough motivation to keep you going. And then
Okay.
one
Charge,
charge,
charge, charge.
mod as we can. All right. Being a mom shouldn't kill your goals and shouldn't make you a dependent lady that's just in the house looking, and all of that. You can have it all. By having that, I feel like, of course, I mean, you can be a mom, a wife, and a successful career person. All right. So, all I'm going to say is think of the flexibility, think of your children, think of your spouse. These men need to breathe sometimes. All right. And then think of yourself, the sense of fulfillment when you know that your services are needed. You are
Yeah.
doing something, you are making an impact. That should be enough motivation.
Oh wow. So thank you so much. Thank you, Onyinye. Onyinye is thanking us for this expository session. This session was supposed to last for
Thank
an
you all for
hour, but I
joining.
am super grateful for how far it went. So just my own final words before you sign out. I just want you all to know, as Encee has said, that these things are possible. She was one picture. I told her, I sent her a message sometime last year. I was like, she was a picture perfect, because I saw the a passion she put into the work. I saw how passionate she was about teaching, and she showed the possibilities that are bound, because then I had a friend, a male friend, that was also a coach, and he was doing these things. But somewhere in my head, I didn't see me as a mother. In my mind, I'm like, with all the responsibilities I have, what time will I have to apportion to freelancing? But then I saw another mom killing it on the same place that I thought I couldn't enter. And that was enough motivation to stay with it till it produced results. So I see a lot of people that have started their freelance journey and they're about giving up. I see a lot of people that want to start, but they are holding themselves back. Hey, stop waiting for nothing. Get
At
up
all.
and get busy. Start acquiring the skills you need. Start getting the trainings. YouTube is a free platform that you can start with. while you now engage coaches like us for paid sessions and just to keep you on your toes till the desired results you need to get, you start earning this money. You see, the joy of earning dollars, my dear, it's not in Nigeria. It knows no bounds. Like, it's so
At all.
exciting. And just being able to afford things for your children is enough motivation to start. And that sense of fulfillment again, oh my God, they cannot lay enough emphasis on it, because a lot of times, as mothers especially, when we start giving birth to children, it's as if we don't have life purpose again. Sometimes I just
Yeah,
sit back
you're
and think, if
drowning.
they ask my children, what does your mother do, what would they say? And then there was no job. So all I did was sit at home and Netflix with the same laptop that is making millions for someone. So today, I pray your mindset has changed and you're ready to go into this world and start making tremendous leaps and bounds, because now you know that you can do it as well. Thank you all so much for tuning into this live stream. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. And if you feel like,
Please do,
leave a
please.
comment below. We'll be bringing more episodes, more freelancers, and of course, maybe if you want Encee to come back and she's open to coming back subsequently, we can always invite her back to the show. But my purpose of doing this video is to let everyone know the possibilities that abound. I'm bringing a lot of freelancers that are doing mind blowing things, so you know that these successes are not just for a selected few. If they can
Yeah.
succeed, if we can succeed, you can too. Now we'll be ending this live stream. Thank you once more, NC, for coming on the live stream. Thank you, everyone who's still on the
I'm honored.
stream.
Thank you. Thank you
The,
for
the
having me.
nine the 9 people still left on the stream. Thank you so much. So it's available for rewatch after this session. It will be uploaded live to the YouTube channel and you can view it at your own leisure. See you on the next episode. Bye,
Yeah,
everyone.
sure. Bye. Bye, everyone.